Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you, as do you. I was just backstage admiring your luminous, glowing skin.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like to be luminous.
I can tell.
Yeah, it's important to be luminous. Hey, I saw you, I think, at the People's Choice Awards with your new boyfriend, and speaking of, you seem like you're glowing ever since you met him.
It must be the penetration. You know what I mean? It brings out, listen, when a girl falls in love and we find our guy or our woman or our person that doesn't identify as a man or a woman, we thrive.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We glow, we are illuminated, and I found my guy.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I say it all the time, but it is the only thing that matters is love. And then everything else just is, but love is the only thing that matters.
Yeah, and you know what's nice about my guy? He reminds me a lot of my mother, and not in a sexual way, but there are a lot of elements that I didn't realize I was missing, because my mom she passed away a long time ago, but there are a lot of elements in my life that I didn't know were, missing, and he kind of brings those back, and he cares for me like my mother cared for me, and it's so sweet that I'm like, are you my mother?
Like, you mean nurturing qualities?
Just nurturing, always looking out for me, making sure I have everything I need. I'm addicted to lip balm, and he's always carrying like 2 lip balms. He's like, do you need your lip balm? If I'm walking through an airport and I have my handbag on, he's like, give that to me. You don't carry anything. And I'm like, I am so into you. It's just beautiful. Like, I wouldn't let anyone do that for me unless I was completely in love. So it's nice to be vulnerable to that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're obviously, you've had a tough life, and you're very strong, and you've been in control of everything, and sometimes it's hard. You have to be at the right place in your life to be able to receive that, and the fact that you are, and you're allowing that to happen, is a beautiful thing. So
Yeah.
very
It's empowering to finally let it down and be like, okay, I'm in love with someone. I can act like I'm in love. I don't have to pretend like I hate every man anymore.
Right. So is that gone from your act now? You're not?
No, I still hate a lot of guys, but minority men are easier just to get along with in general, you know?
Yeah. Is that true?
Well, yeah, they're just not as entitled as white men.
Yeah.
Not all white men. White men over a certain age mostly have the problem. Just kind of coming to grips with where we are as women, saying, hey, we want equality. And they're like, but why? Well, because it's time, and because we're over it, you know? So, yeah! Like, don't ask any questions.
Yeah.
Don't ask any questions. Don't argue with us anymore. We're tired, and we've had it.
And what are you learning from him? Because that's the beautiful thing too. When you finally meet somebody that challenges you and that is sort of a mirror for you, you learn from each other.
Well, I mean, I'm not learning how to cook from him, because he talks a big game about all these Filipino, my husband, whoopsie doodle.
Wow.
He's my boyfriend.
Wow.
Oh my God, I've never let that slip out. I mean, I've never even said the word husband. We're not married. But he talks a big game about how he's just great in the kitchen. Like, he thinks he's a Filipino wizard chef. And so far, he hasn't been able to even cook rice for me. So we do a bunch of cooking segments on my Instagram account and his, and every recipe he's made has been a disaster. And I'm not very good in the kitchen, but I now know that somebody is worse than me.
That's a shame, but
It is a shame.
Because he thinks he can cook.
Well, he thinks he can. He'll be like, oh, I'll make you chicken adobo, and then he can't make it. And, I've made him a bagel. I once made him a bagel in a skillet because I couldn't find the toaster. I was in a rental house, and it was hidden. And I said, how do you want your bagel? Like, medium rare, what's your, And he was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I have a special recipe I do. So I heated up a skillet, and I cooked him a bagel, sauteed it in the skillet, and it was so delicious. He was like, is this a secret Jewish recipe? Because I'm Jewish. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then he wanted another one. And I was like, obviously, I'm killing it, and you can't even cook rice.
Wow. Now we've all learned something, that you can make a bagel in the skillet, and you can have it medium or
medium rare.
Or medium rare.
Or medium well done. It's just like a burger, everybody.
You're on tour right now. That's probably why you're in a lot of rental houses, maybe, because you're staying in houses. What is the tour called?
The tour is called Vaccinated and Horny, and It's emblematic of a lot of the way a lot of people are feeling, these days. And I came up with the tour name before Jo and I got together, but I'm still horny. It's just directed at one person, So, and I'm definitely still vaccinated, so that didn't change much. But yeah, it's been amazing to be on tour. I mean, winning the People's Choice Award, being nominated for a Grammy, I'm like, oh, I guess I should have been taking this stand-up stuff more seriously a long time ago. I used to perform and think it was like a party for myself, I'd get drunk and go on stage and be like, oh, that was fun. And then I was like, well, maybe that's not what your audience is looking for. Like, it's actually a professional obligation. So I started really, I kind of got myself really together and focused for this, and it's paying off. And
it sure
really
is.
Nice.
I mean, a Grammy nomination. Congratulations. And
yeah.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back.